that word you used about love, that's like that universal language, right? And I'm hearing from you, there's a love, a self-love, and then a love for your community, a sense of appreciation for the people who helped you and embraced you, right? And encouraged you. And then when you think about it, taking all of that and just giving it back to the world, that's what it sounds like happened.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of your skill set, so did you become a teacher, or
Yes.
how did you hone in your skills? What happened? How did that happen?
So I did. I went to, as I said, I went to William Paterson. Initially, I thought I was going to be a gym teacher. I saw the course load and was like, maybe English is better. So I graduated with my bachelor's in English, and then after high school, I did have the opportunity to teach out of John F. Kennedy High School. And then I was also a part of the school-based youth services program under my time as a Americorps Vista person. So it's like, that's a national level volunteer service program. So I did that, and I was still in a school setting, because as a teacher, I realized what they prepare you for in college, I can't say is the best for when you actually step into a physical classroom in the inner city, because I was in Paterson, New Jersey. So once I became a teacher, my focus of teaching this curriculum was kind of pushed to the side because all the issues that I saw right in front of my face within the classroom. So I was like, you know what, maybe teaching isn't the ideal career that I had planned for. So when I became an Americorps Vista member, I was still able to work in a school setting, but it was very much like what I do now with Hudson Pride. So it was an after school program, and we had events and workshops for students after school. So it was like when they take off their school, you know, I call it their visible uniform, right? They're done with school, like, oh, I'm done with school. They would come here, they would have a social environment to play games, hang out with their peers, and we watched the interactions. And with watching the interactions, I learned about the students. I learned some students were homophobic, so that made me realize these are the things that we should do in this space so that people know this is a safe space. Because that's what it all, you know, that's the nucleus, right, of me, just creating that safe space for people. So once I started to thrive in that position, I was like, this is it. I want to do whatever this career is, I want to do it.
That's beautiful. Because let me ask this question. So what is the career? What is it? What is your title? What do you do? And how does it fit into the grand scheme of your vision of how you're going to help people?
So my title with Hudson Pride Center is Director of Programs.
Oh.
And right. And I really feel like that the title doesn't really give you the vision of what I do, my role at Hudson Pride. So although I'm a Director of Programs, I do oversee a lot of our programs at Hudson Pride Center, but a lot of my work is done with connecting and establishing relationships. So we work a lot with community leaders, again, to create those safer spaces. In their spaces, we work with community leaders to make sure that their space is inclusive. Mm-hmm. So we teach them about the importance of having a flag up or having gender neutral restrooms, so that you don't have to come out and say, hey, my space is a safe space. When people come here, they're gonna feel it. Mm-hmm. So we work with people on that level. Then we also work with other leaders who are able to provide funds to really kickstart initiatives, such as one of the newer initiatives at Hudson Pride Center is a program where we're gonna be able to pay for our members to stay in a hotel for a couple of days while their transitional housing process is happening. They have somewhere safe to sleep for a weekend or for 4 days, versus someone contacting us and saying, hey, my parents found out I was LGBTQ, they kicked me out, I have nowhere to go. Now we're able to take someone from an unsafe space, put them in a safer space while we figure out the plan of action. So my role is so diverse that I love it. I get to work with the staff on an array of events and workshops. Like we get to work with schools and help them build up their Gay Straight Alliance groups. We work with students, colleges, universities. So there's so much that comes out of this position, but I love it. But at the root of it, I'm really contributing to creating that safer space for people physically, now even virtually. We've been able to connect with people from Africa who don't have the same rights and ways of living as we do. So now we're able to open up another conversation and learn how we can support these individuals who are in a whole nother location. So my role just allowed me to break those I don't want to call them barriers, but not put myself in a shell, like break out of that confined space, because I'm doing so much under this title.
Yeah,
I get to change the world.
Yeah, it sounds like your role is both broad and deep, right? So you're doing a lot across, but then it's not just surface, it's deep. So that word programming for me, director of programs, means a lot, because I know what that means. It's not that I'm in charge of, making sure the program happens. It's the lifeline of an organization. Why is it here? And making sure it's fulfilling that mission that is here. That's what I hear when I hear you talking about it.
Yes, that's what I hear as well.
That's what you do.